Yeah, I don't know where to start in terms of the Bill Cosby conversation. I mean, first of all, I think it's fascinating for me. I've been following this story for about 7 years now.
Yeah.
So this
Wow.
the past year or two isn't any revelation for me in
Got
terms
it.
of his alleged practices and drugging and all these things. Why am I sugarcoating it? Alleged rape, right? Um, so this is it's now we're starting to see some of the depositions that came out a few years ago in which he admitted to um, I wouldn't say he admitted to rape, but definitely admitted to putting quaaludes in women's drinks and
Hmm.
his behavior around other females. So what do you think? Does this change your perception of Cliff Huxtable or Bill
Oh
Cosby
hell
or
yeah! I mean, my God, that part I can't disagree with at all. It's like, look, he was I mean, this dude, he is a constructed image for me, right? And so I mean, in the same way, like we were just talking about Hulk Hogan and whatnot, it's like this guy was constructed. He was he was the pudding pop dude. He was the Cliff Hustable. He was the guy, and ultimately as an academic, he was the guy who became the cover face for a lot of conservative black rhetoric in regards to the poor inner city communities, people of color, and all of this stuff, and that we're not that we're yes, I still own that space even though I'm a professor now. It's like how poor people, black folks, are not holding up their end of the bargain and stuff, and so he became a face. What do you call it? The moral center, if you would, that spokesperson for that space, and so for him to do this, it's just like, dude, can I believe in anything anymore? Um, when it comes to constructed images, it's like, look, I believe in myself, I believe in God, I believe in a lot of things, but when it comes to TV and personas, it's like this one I'm definitely going to like really start rethinking like what it is that I think about people based upon what they say and how they act in front of a camera. That is for sure. But it took a lot. I'm gonna be for real. It's like I'll own it, and we can talk about rape culture. We can talk about however that's framed in anybody's head. But for me, it did take a lot for me for people to bust down that image. It did take 40 women to come out against this person because the walls of my construction of Cosby was so strong that it needed that many rocks to knock down those walls for me to really get to see like, oh, no, this is who he is, and it's the media image that was false, not this image. This is the real image, and it took a lot. Like I said, I'm gonna own it. I will sit in my male privileged space within a context of rape culture and say yes. It took a hell of a lot of ammunition in order to take down my walls. Now that they're taken down, it's like, man, you better get rid of the Cosby Show. It's like, nah, and which is crazy for me to say because it's like, look, we talked about Michael Jackson and all that stuff. And for some reason, this one's hitting me way differently and more so than anything than all the other stuff that I've heard in the past. And so,
I think I mean I definitely understand where you're coming from. To me, I still like the Cosby Show. For me, I don't know if it's I stand in your judgment. You throw stones if your glass, whatever. I just completely messed that up. But you know what I mean. You can judge me. To me, there's still values and entertainment and punchlines from the Cosby Show and quotables
yeah,
from the Cosby Show that are just I will probably raise my daughter in ways that Cliff Huxtable appeared to have raised Theo and Denise and Sandra.
that's true.
And I think there's this compartmentalization that I have in terms of this is the entertainment and this is the TV show
Right.
and this is how the TV show can relate to me versus this is the actor who portrayed it, right? And it's
Yeah.
interesting you brought up Michael Jackson. You come into my house, I got like Michael Jackson posters, and I don't put the cape on and say like, oh, he didn't do it to them kids. I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I know I wouldn't leave my kids at Neverland Ranch when he was alive, but
Yeah, true that.
I
true
still enjoy the music and I still relate to the music and I love the music.
Mhm.
And I think Cosby Show is the same way. I think it's interesting to really have this discussion of where can we draw that line and for whom do these lines get drawn by
Yeah.
which when we throw away the image on TV
Mhm.
and in music, do we throw away the entire person?
Right.
When, again, Woody Allen, we still celebrate Woody Allen. We still celebrate, which was the Russian dude. I can't remember all these people, right? So it's interesting
I'm sure
to see.
they were significant.
Yeah,
I
I'm
don't
sure
know.
it's interesting to see, like, as a filmmaker, I can't remember,
Yeah.
who we do that for.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It was, I will say, though, when that testimony came out, ooh, boy, and the memes that came out, when he
Yeah.
was dunking the pill in the drink. Oh, man. We got to show that one. We got to get Daniel to show that.
Yeah,
While we're talking about this.
You know, and so I can admit, like I said, it sounds contradictory, and quite honestly, I'll admit it is contradictory. It's like I said,
it's complex.
It's complex because this one, like I said, this is like for Cosby and what he was supposed to be. For me, Michael Jackson was never more than a performer, so I never associated anything else with him. With Cosby, it was, for me, it was different. And so that's where the complexity begins and ends with me. It was different. I associated certain moral values with Cosby, and that's what caused me to think differently.
I saw Uptown Saturday Night, and Let's Do It Again at an early age. So.
All right, that's okay.